Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sasquatch Theory. On this episode, we have Christina from Arkansas, and she had a strange encounter with a Sasquatch that was out in the forest outside of her yard. Her father passed away, and there was ambulances, police officers there at the scene, and she feels like that possibly drew in this creature. I've heard that a lot with siren sounds and commotion, and especially when someone loses a family member. For some reason, these creatures are watching, and maybe they're paying their respect, or they're attracted to the sounds and lights from the ambulance. What are your theories about this situation? And let me know down in the comments below. I appreciate everyone's support, and for the people that still listen to the channel, it seems like there's a lot of Bigfoot channels out there, so the people that have been faithful to Sasquatch Theory, that really means a lot to me. And a lot of people have kind of dropped off the map, but it's no worries. We're going to continue. These things are out there, and I plan on getting out in the woods and doing some research for myself and kind of changing things up. But yeah, if you have a Bigfoot or cryptid encounter that you would like to share with me here on the channel, please contact me at sasquatchtheory@outlook.com, and I would love to speak with you about this. I've seen these creatures multiple times, so I will be able to relate to the experiences that you've had in your life. If you guys can, please support the channel by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, hitting the bell notification, and commenting down below. And if you really want to support the channel, you can purchase some merchandise, leave a donation, and that helps purchase new equipment, and it helps to keep the channel going. But yeah, with all of that being said, let's dive straight into this next Bigfoot encounter from the state of Arkansas. All right, Christina, welcome to Sasquatch Theory. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you so much for asking. Christina, if you would, tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and your Bigfoot encounters and experiences from the very beginning.
Okay. Well, my name is Christina Chalfin. I'm from Arkansas. I've lived mainly in Northwest Arkansas for the last 20-something years, but growing up, I did live outside of an area called Charleston, Arkansas. My family has some land, I guess about 15 minutes outside of town. It's close to an area where there's a place called Potato Hill, if anybody knows where that's at. The Bigfoot encounter was October 28th, 2015. I was leaving my mom's house to go pick up my children. It was the morning after my dad had passed away. He passed away around 11, 12 o'clock at night. Sometime around 1, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, the coroner came and picked him up. So there was a lot of, lights and movement going on outside, which I guess maybe drew attention. I don't know. So around 6 a.m., I got up to leave to go pick up my 2 oldest kids who were back up in Northwest Arkansas. And as I was leaving the home, I noticed something, and it was standing in the tree line next to the driveway, and like across from where the house is. So if someone was driving up the driveway, you have to walk across the driveway to get to the tree line. And it was white, and it was unusual. I'd never seen anything like that. And I'd grown up in this area in the woods, and I'd never seen anything like this, especially white. You're always taught about black bears and a cougar. So, white is like alarming. That might be a cougar. So I'm looking, and as I'm walking towards the gate, I'm realizing this is not a cougar. This is weird. And it had 2 legs, was standing bipedal, standing upright. I wasn't sure what I was looking at. Again, it's very early in the morning. My dad had passed away, so I'm kind of looking through the tree lines to get an idea, but I don't think to look up. And it has hands, and the hands are down past the knees, very long arms. And as I open the gate, the cast iron gate, the gate squeaks and the thing turns, and it picks up its leg, the right leg and the arm in the motion, like if you're going to take off and run from something. And it takes a couple of steps, and it just disappears into the woods, and it's gone. And I don't know what it was. I didn't see a face. I didn't think to look upwards. I I was never a believer in Bigfoot. I used to make fun of people who thought Bigfoot was real. So I wasn't looking for a Bigfoot. I didn't know. All I saw was the motions of it. It seemed very tall, very big, and it was white.
Okay, I
So
appreciate
that
you
was
for
my
sharing
main
that.
encounter. I've had a few other strange encounters with weird noises that are unexplained, and knocking sounds out there. You do get a sense when you're out there that maybe something's watching you, but again, these woods have things like bears, cougars, boar. So you're always looking over your shoulder for a wild animal. But yeah, anyway,
Can you describe the knocking sounds that you heard?
the knocking sounds were as if it were trying to communicate. It would knock, for example, like 3 times, and then I would knock back 3 more times to see, if it's going to knock back, and then it would knock back 2 times. And I did it in different patterns to make sure that it wasn't some kind of echo coming back off the trees or around me. And it was knocking in a way that this is no way this is an echo. If I would knock 3 times, it would knock back 1 time. If I knocked 1 time in response, then it might knock back 3 times or 4 times. But that went on for a little while. Um, but yeah, so that was a one-time incident. The noises that you hear out in the woods, there's a lot of, I don't even know how to describe the noise that you hear. I'm sure a lot of other people have heard it too and can probably describe it better than me. Um, some people think it's Fort Chaffee. I don't know. It sounds like a roar over the tops of the trees. It's loud, but it's not loud. It's almost like when you're standing at the ocean with the waves and how it's really loud. You can't hear somebody really close to you, but it's not that loud at the same time. What this noise is like. So like a roar over the tops of the trees. I don't know what the noise is.
Yeah, that's freaky.
So
You said your brother
yeah,
had an
they
experience
have a
too?
lot of jets and things that fly around there, like military planes and things. So I don't know if it's like jet engines. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. You said your brother had an encounter as well?
Yeah, so my brother said he was running down the road and there was something, he felt like something was next to him and he looked over his shoulder and there was something running in the woods with him and it was white also.
I wonder if that's the same creature. Was this in the same forest?
Yeah, it was in the same area.
Yeah, that's creepy. What do you think the creature was doing there in the driveway? Do you think the commotion possibly caught its attention?
Honestly, yes. I think that whatever it was has been there and it probably knew my family was out there for a while and probably saw them build their house. And when my dad passed away, it probably came. I think it was watching, maybe even been aware, maybe it sensed a death. I don't know. But it was weird the way it was standing there as if it was looking at the house, just standing there.
Yeah, it sounds like it noticed something different, all kinds of people, and it wanted to come in and check out the area.
Yeah. And so when I left that morning, I caught it off guard when I came out of the house. And obviously, I was not expecting to see what I was seeing. And from a psychology standpoint, your brain doesn't recognize anything it's never seen before. So I saw something white and I'm kneeling down to look through the fence as I'm walking towards the gate. And of course, it's not moving, but I can see the hands down below the knees. And of course, your brain is like, what in the world? And as I approached the gate, I reached through the gate, opened the lock, pushed the gate open. It made the screech noise, and the thing turned, lifted its leg and its arm. And that's when I realized, oh my God, what is this? And it literally took a couple of steps and just was gone.
How tall do you think this creature was?
I would say about 10 foot, maybe 12 foot. It was hard to judge because I didn't see exactly how tall it was because I never actually saw the head or the face because I didn't look upward. I didn't think to look upward. I was just so what am I looking at when I saw the hands hanging down beside two legs with white fur? It was weird. And so I was like, what in the world? And when it ran off, I don't know, it had to have been about 10 foot, maybe 12 foot.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
It took a couple of steps and it was gone.
And how long was the fur?
Oh gosh, it wasn't like super long, like compared to my dog. It wasn't, she has like German Shepherd in her, and so she kind of has long hair in places. It wasn't like super long, but it wasn't short.
Okay.
It wasn't like a cowhide or anything like that. You could tell it was fur, maybe like a bear.
Yeah, so a couple inches.
Yeah, but bears don't walk around on their two legs. And that particular area right there, there's black bears. And there have been a lot of black bear sightings in that area. And my mom has had some problems with black bears, but not a white bear, a polar bear.
Yeah. And
So,
have you heard anything from the neighbors regarding Bigfoot or anyone in the community?
and the community, yeah, I've never really talked to the neighbors, honestly, but I could probably ask the neighbors. Honestly, it's kind of a weird situation. There's only two neighbors on that particular road. And one of them, he's just kind of a hermit type guy. Everybody knows him. They call him Old Man Spencer, and he just lives out there, and he probably has stories. I just never thought to ask him because I've never talked to him.
Yeah.
And the Dunns probably do have stories. They've lived there for a long, long time, and they probably do have stories. But yeah, people in the community, I know a lot of people in the community that have stories.
Okay. Yeah, it might be worth asking some of the neighbors if they've ever seen anything, and what exactly have you heard from people in the area?
Oh, same thing, that there's something in the woods, that they've spotted a Bigfoot. Some people claim they have found footprints. I don't know. I didn't actually find any footprints, but those are the things people are saying they're finding in the area, is things like hair on the trees, but they're finding brown hair and stuff, and I saw white, so I don't know.
Yeah, they come in all different colors. Okay, what else has happened, or what else can you share with me about the Sasquatch?
Well, there's a lot of UFO sightings throughout time that have been linked to the Sasquatch, even in that area. When you look back, there's an organization outside of Ozark that does a lot of Sasquatch hunting. I don't know the exact name of it, but it's not hard to Google it. They have a Facebook account, and they've done a lot of studies into that, because
I'm having a real hard time
whenever there's
hearing you.
UFO sightings, there's a lot of Bigfoot sightings at the same time.
Okay. I'm having a real hard time hearing you. I'm not sure if the phone's like not up to your ear or...
Oh, okay. Can you hear me better? I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay. So, were you able to hear me about the UFO sightings correlating with the Bigfoot sightings?
Kind of. It sounded like the phone was underneath a cover or something.
Okay. I apologize. But yeah, so there are a lot of reports of the same time when there's a lot of UFO sightings. There was a UFO sighting about 10 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, out of Fort Smith, where a lot of people saw it, and then they said it was something else. But at the same time, there was a large amount of Bigfoot sightings. So I don't know if there's a correlation between the two, but I do know there are a lot of people that swear there's a lot of Bigfoot activity in that area. There's a lot of strange noises that ring out through the woods that kind of unexplainable. Hogs make a lot of weird noises, so it could be hogs. Don't know. But I just don't take my chances. Whatever I saw didn't seem like a threat, though, I have to be honest. It didn't seem dangerous.
Yeah. And what do you think they are?
It didn't seem like it was going to attack me or harm me in any kind of way. It seemed like it wanted to get away from me. It just seemed like it was just maybe watching or trying to figure out. I don't know. Maybe it was aware.
Yeah, it could have been. What do you think these creatures are? Do you think they're connected with UFOs and aliens?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that they most definitely, yeah, absolutely think that it has some kind of correlation with the two. I think that the it probably goes deeper into the, government knowing exactly what's going on, and they may even be some government experiments, maybe even an ancient civilization that once lived that didn't evolve, that they're not telling people about. Stephen Greer, Dr. Stephen Greer, he says that in the next couple of weeks, there's some really big people that are going to come out and expose some really top secret things about these UFOs and Bigfoots and all these weird things that have been happening over the years with this stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think I watched Stephen Greer like a year ago, and he was saying something about like a new video coming out that's going to blow the lid on the entire topic. And I don't know if that ever came out. I never
They
really heard
said
much about it.
he's been all over. He's been on a ton of podcasts here lately. As we all know, podcast is the new media, like what you're doing right now. It's the new media because you can't trust mainstream media. They just lie, and they're part of the leftist bullshit. Excuse my language, but it he's all over. I mean, you can go just about to any main podcast that's out there. Even ones like Dana Carvey are having him on on their podcast, but I don't know who's coming out. He just says that there's some big people coming out that, these are big top, like Marine specialists and Navy SEALs and people that are involved in some secret government stuff going on. It's not government, it's like a rogue government operation. And so we'll see. He says that in the next couple of weeks, we're definitely going to hear about it, that they're coming forward and they're going to start releasing information about what's really been going on and the reverse technology that they've been doing and what's really going on with the drones. And most definitely, there is some kind of correlation going on even with the Bigfoot. It could be some kind of weird science experiment. That's why I pointed out at the beginning that this area is also close to Fort Chaffee, which is a military base that's heavily guarded. This Potato Hill that I mentioned resembles a pyramid. It's been speculated for years that maybe it could be a pyramid because it ironically, I know this is a Bigfoot story, but all of this kind of relates back to each other. That the pyramid around the world, they lay on these ley lines, and that Potato Hill matches up. So it's a weird correlation. It's heavily guarded. You can't get close to it. There's signs everywhere in barbed wire that's warning you if you come across these lines. There's snipers, life snipers. So, I think in the next couple of weeks, we're going to get a better idea of even what some of these creatures are. I think they're different in different areas too. I don't think they're all the same. I think some of the Bigfoot sightings, like up in Alaska, I think it's a different kind of Bigfoot type of creature. It's a dangerous one, a kind of more aggressive one. Maybe
Yeah.
even down in South Arkansas, because they've got some pretty horrific stories in South Arkansas about a real violent, they call it the hairy man or the hair man or something like that. And there's some pretty gruesome stories about how people have been ripped apart limb for limb down there.
Yeah, I've heard some frightening stories from Arkansas, and it makes me think it's a gugway. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's kind of like a Sasquatch, but it has ears and a snout, and I don't know, it almost looks like a grizzly bear on two legs.
Yeah, so like some kind of mutated thing going on. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. That's just my theory. I think it's all related some kind of way. I do think it's alien. I don't think it's a natural thing going on because if it were natural, we'd have more evidence. Why can't we find one? Why can't we find more evidence? Why is it just a random thing here and there? There's something more going on here.
Yeah, that's how I
So
feel
either
too.
it's tied to the UFO stuff and the alien stuff, or it's a huge psyop operation going on.
Yeah, it's hard to say because it's been going on since the time of the Native Americans and even before that. So I don't know
It
if,
is. You're absolutely right about that. Absolutely.
yeah.
So
Maybe they've just taken it a step further. There were cryptid creatures before technology, and then they started
Well, and that's what I
mutating them.
believe. And I believe that there are people in power, and I think that's what's about to come out, that have had the access to that power and have kept it hidden from the rest of us, and that they were aware of all of this stuff beforehand.
Yeah. I'm
So,
almost reluctant to believe anything that they say, even if they come out and say, yeah, Bigfoot's real, Dogman's real, this is what it
mhm.
is. Like, I almost wouldn't even trust that. I mean, yeah, it's real, but
Oh,
like, what are they really? And I don't feel like they're truly
exactly.
telling
Because
us.
even if they come out and say it's real, then you have to question what they're telling us it really is. Is that a lie too?
Mm-hmm.
I,
Yeah.
I agree with you, because it's starting to feel like, well, what is really going on?
Yeah, I don't like situations like that where you've been lied to for so long and then finally the truth comes out and it's like, is this even the truth?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I think what you're doing is important, because it's important to really start figuring out what's going on. Like, we need to know what's really going on. What are the lies that, that they are telling us? And we need to figure out what the truth is. Why can't we actually find one? Why has nobody actually been able to really get a great picture or document them? What is going on?
Yeah, I would agree. Especially if people are seeing them in their driveways. I've seen one in my driveway and I don't know, like you hear people all the time talk about like cryptids that have been found in the past, like I don't know, like the panda bear and things like that. And they had to go really deep into the woods. But if these things are being seen close to people's houses, you should find a body somewhere out in the woods eventually.
Yeah, yeah. Some kind of telltale sign that, that something's living there or something.
Yeah, and
And
that's
that's just how I feel. And so that's why I think that something, somehow they're related to the UFOs or something. Because where are they going?
yeah. I mean, honestly, like I don't know, but the interdimensional thing sounds plausible over
It
an
does.
unknown creature that you never find evidence of, other than like stick structures, occasional tracks, and hair. That's about it.
So apparently that may be some of the information that comes out in the next couple of weeks. That's kind of what's been going on. And we've been lied to about it, and it's been kept a secret.
Yeah. Almost feel like the cryptid subject is like highly guarded and more guarded than the UFO topic. Like you'll eventually like hear the government talk about UFOs or they'll mention things on the news, but when it comes to cryptids, it's just strictly folklore and it's not real. They never really talk about it on the news. Like they never give it a chance that
Mm-mm.
it's like a
No.
possible thing out there.
I recently heard, and I can't remember where I heard it from, someone say that everything mythical you were told not to believe in will probably what you need to believe in. It's probably more accurate and true. And I was like, well, that's weird. you know, it's it's a interesting case to get involved with, to look into the Sasquatch theory and the UFOs and all the government stuff going on and worldwide stuff, because there definitely, in my opinion, is some sort of cover up and some truth that's not being told. And the Bigfoot, I think, in my opinion, I'm not real. I don't really know much about a cryptid. Maybe you could tell me, like, is that what, a hybrid or something?
Cryptid is just like a Bigfoot or an unknown animal. I mean, even like a black cat is considered a cryptid.
Mm, okay. So yeah, this subject is not talked about often, and the most unusual things to me is that nobody has found solid evidence. There's lots of videos on the internet of these strange noises and, supposed sightings, but it's always a blurry picture and people taking cast of foot. But where are they going? Where do they sleep? Do they sleep? I mean, why are we not finding anything? Why are the tracks not leading to anything? Why is it just one solitary print?
Yeah, I would agree. And I do like the Patterson Gimlin footage, but it's like that was shot in the 60s. Why hasn't anyone like in the 2000s captured like awesome video of these things, if he was able to do it like while riding horses in the woods in California, why can't somebody else do that in another state?
Right, especially with the great cameras that we have out today,
Yeah.
you would think. So I'm definitely interested to see what information supposedly is supposed to be brought forth and what they might have to say this time about whatever is going on with the Bigfoot, with the UFO, the drones, the supposed civilizations underwater, all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm real interested in all of that, like what's really going on.
Yeah, me too. Did they mention anything about cryptids, or was it just about UFOs?
No, I did not hear anything about a cryptid. You are the first person actually that has said that word to me. Other than I may have seen it on some show, I think one time, TV show.
Does Stephen Greer ever talk about Bigfoot, or is it just aliens, UFOs, and government
No, they
cover-ups?
do talk about Bigfoot. Now, that's in some later videos of his. The things he's talking about right now, I guess it's more important to disclose what's happening right now with the government. It's not really even a government. It's like a rogue operation, he keeps calling it. It's a rogue military operation. There's a lot of people in Congress who don't even know what's going on. So I don't know what he's talking about now. But he said there's some really prominent people, high up people that have even been involved in some of the House Senate meetings where they're doing the briefings on the UFOs and the strange sightings around the world. That skinwalkers are, they did mention skinwalkers and things like that. I didn't hear anything about a cryptid, but they may have mentioned a cryptid and I just kind of overlooked it. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll be on the lookout for it, and maybe it is all tied together somehow, and I don't know. Maybe we'll find out in the future.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking forward to because they claim that this information is going to be released before January 20th. So, that's really soon and we'll find out.
Yep, absolutely. All right, Christina, I feel like that pretty well covers your experiences, and I'm glad that you were willing to talk about it on the channel with me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope you have a great day and thanks for inviting me.
Yep, absolutely. And if you encounter anything else in the future, feel free to reach back out to me.
All right, sounds good. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Take care. All right, Christina, thank you very much for sharing your Bigfoot report with me here on Sasquatch Theory, and I am certainly so sorry about your loss, and it does make me wonder if this creature was possibly watching you guys for a very long time and came to investigate the area to kind of see what was going on, or if it was attracted to new people, or possibly the ambulance lights and the commotion that was going on. But yeah, nonetheless, I really am sorry for your loss, and I hope you're doing better. But yeah, the Ozarks, that's a creepy area. I can't imagine what it would be like to see this thing right outside of your house. And I mean, actually, I can't imagine it because I've had the same experiences, but I'm just putting myself in the skeptic's shoes because they don't understand. A lot of times people think you have to go into the deep forest to see these things, but many times they will come up to you. And I do agree with you that there is something going on, whether it has something to do with aliens, UFOs, portals, dimensions, or I don't know, all the strange things we hear from other people. It could very well be possible. We have to remain open-minded, but in the end, I like to think of these things as a physical creature, not necessarily a primate, but some type of unknown creature that we can go out there and possibly see for ourselves and find some type of evidence, because when it comes to explaining one unknown subject with another, it becomes really difficult, and it really is a never-ending rabbit hole. So I do like to look at it as some type of unknown hominid species or primate. And a lot of people get mad if you call them a primate or a creature or an animal, but that's what we are. We're a mammal. We're a creature of this earth. So I look at them the same way, even if they are spiritual. I believe we're spiritual when we pass away. it's not the end, and there's another realm that we go into. But yeah, I really do appreciate everyone for listening today. It does mean a lot to me. For the people that continue supporting the channel, keep it up, guys. It really helps the channel out, and when people stop watching, it kind of makes the channel fall apart, and I'm not getting as many stories. But anyways, the channel is doing really good, so I am grateful for that. And if you have a Bigfoot encounter that you would like to share with me here on Sasquatch Theory, please contact me sometime at sasquatchtheory@outlook.com. And until the next one, you guys be safe out in the forest.